Thank you. All right, we are joined by Oregon head coach Melissa Lombardi and players Kai Lushar, Kedri Lushar, and Lindsey Grine. We will a reminder to please silence your cell phones, give your name and media affiliation when you get the mic to ask a question. No video is allowed with your cell phone at the press conference, and if you're on Zoom and want to ask a question, make sure to use the raise hand function. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Lombardi. Go to questions just for the players, dismiss the players, then go back to questions for Coach Lombardi. So if you have an opening statement, feel free.
Just an unbelievable battle by our team. I'm so proud of their fight. All year long, they've been put into different situations and having to come through. And I feel like all these situations throughout the years prepared them for this evening. You could see we jumped ahead, and then in the last inning that they tied it up. I think our team early in the year, that would have affected them, but this team right now, not at all. They know that they're going to win the ball game. It's just we might not always know exactly what it's going to look like. We just know we're going to win. And if we've got to extend innings until we get there, we'll do it. So just to watch our defense, unbelievable. Think of the at-bat that Emma had to open up this last inning, and then for Kedri just to be very patient at the plate and waiting to get her pitch. So I felt that she was either going to walk in that run or she was going to get a base hit. You could see that she was solid, but total team effort. Can't say enough about this group. This group's a special group. Version 7 is special, and I'm just very happy to be a part of it.
Okay, we'll start with questions for players, front row left.
Brett Taylor, KZI9 Sports. This one for Kedri and Kai. After the game, I got to talk with both your parents, who told me that they knew from the moment you guys, touched the softball field, you were built for a moment like this. When did both of you realize you were ready for a moment like this to come your way? Where Kedri, you had to obviously be patient and take that walk, and for Kai, for yourself, I believe in that fifth inning and that double that really got things kind of going for the offense for you guys tonight.
Yeah, I think just we're ready to go at any point, and we all have each other's backs. One thing about us is we're going to fight no matter what, and it was really cool to see that tonight, that there was no way we were letting them beat us.
Yeah, it was just incredible, the fight that we had. They're a great team. They fought hard too, and we just knew we had to stick with it, and we'd end up on top.
Okay, we stay front row left.
James Creppy with the Oregonian. Lindsey, there's a lot of career highs for you after that. 9.1 innings, 94 strikes, 144 pitches. You were 46 of 64 after re-entry. And for all these numbers and stats, it was the therapy you were giving Riley early, and it looked like some kind of team message there in the middle of the 10th that the cameras got. What were you saying to your teammates throughout this as you were gutting out probably the gutsiest performance of your career?
Gosh, I mean, I knew that my teammates had my back regardless. I knew before we got here that we were going to pull it off. We didn't know what it was going to look like, but the Ducks were going to leave with a win today. I told my teammates that, just reminded them that, hey, as long as there's innings and we have outs to spare, I will stay here till 8:30 today. And however long it was going to take for us to win. But today wasn't the day that Version 7 ends their season, and that's in the long, long ways ahead. So we have a lot more to do.
Okay, we go front row right.
Brady Vernon, Softball America, just for the sisters, just what is it like kind of watching a pitcher just warrior through and kind of excite the whole club going in to the dugout? She was pretty excited multiple times, really late in that game, and probably the only one with energy tonight from us in the press box.
Yeah, I love Lindsey. She's just a competitor. She's so fierce. I put her up against any hitter in this country, and she's going to win. I just know it, and I trust her. I believe in her, and she's just so awesome to play behind.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. Playing behind her is unbelievable. She just gives such great energy, and it's funny, even at practice, she's super competitive and fierce, and I think a saying that we've had all year is iron sharpens iron, and I think that she's a huge reason for our offense stepping up the way it has this year.
Okay, we go second row left.
Aiden Hess, KWVA Sports. Lindsay, obviously you start this game and then you finish it, but you have the downtime in the middle where you're not in. What are you saying? What are you doing? Kind of what does your process look when you're in the middle of the game where you're not in the circle?
Yeah, I mean, my job then is to cheer on my teammates and be there for them in any way that they need. Whether that looks like helping Elise or Stacy, grabbing them water, Gatorade, whatever they need, or just cheering everybody on. My role kind of turns from pitcher to cheerleader, but still being involved.
Okay, front row left.
Brett Taylor again, KZN9 Sports. Kai, last night you told me after the Stanford loss that you guys told each other as a team you wanted to play more games together and you wanted to trust the process. How has, since that moment, that kind of fueled this team to where in moments against Stanford, in moments against Liberty, in moments against Ole Miss tonight, you guys have been able to find a way to win and continue playing more games together this season?
Yeah, we talked about it earlier. Just when Des said she wasn't ready to hang up the cleats that day when we played Stanford, and we said the same thing today. Like, we're going to fight no matter what. And in those moments, we just know that if I don't get it done, someone behind me will. And just trusting in the process, trusting on all of our hard work, and, yeah, just laying it all out there.
Okay, stay in front row left.
James Kirby with the Oregonian. Lindsay, I realize there's a lot of at-bats to go through, but if you could walk through a couple of them, because they kind of stand out. When you re-enter, there's 2 on, 1 out. You get a strikeout and a fly out there to get out of that jam. They obviously tie it in the 7th in a big spot. What was going through your mind when they tie it there, and then to refocus and have the one runner in scoring position scenario there at the end in the 10th? What was going through your mind in those various at-bats?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it was just a no-way mentality, and I think one of the things that really motivates me is when I just glance up and look at my teammates, and that gets me really motivated just to do it for them. And like I said earlier, today wasn't the day for our season to be over. So working really hard with Coach and working hard with Emma. Emma was a huge part of that game. She kept me dialed in and just kept the energy really positive, which was super helpful.
Okay, last question for players, front row left.
Brett Taylor, KZI. Kedri, you've, I would imagine, had a lot of walk-offs in your career from high school to obviously now your time in Oregon. Where does this one rank on the bucket list of walk-offs that you've had in your long career right now?
Definitely might be the top one. It was pretty fun.
Okay, thank you, players. Questions for Coach Lombardi? Okay. Front row left.
James Kreppe with the Oregonian. Missy, she was 1 pitch shy of Jordan's high mark under your tenure. And I know how much you don't like throwing pitchers that much, but you're going to go out on your shield that way. What's going through your mind as it keeps going? Because I know internally you're going to go out with your pitcher in the circle. At the same time, the numbers are getting where they're getting, and she's dominant in extras, but 144 is still 144, and I know you're not very comfortable with that.
Lindsay is just a straight-up competitor on the mound. There's no way she's coming out of that game. There's no way. She's going to finish it. And what I love is that we talk about this at Oregon, we talk about it all starts in the weight room. And the reason why Lindsay was able to finish that game is because it all starts in the weight room. What she's done with Coach KJ has given her the strength, the endurance that she needs to go to start a game like that, come out and re-enter it and finish it, and actually get better as the game went on. She got better as the game went on.
Front row right, sorry.
Brady Wren, Softball America, just how awesome is it to see Des have this really good postseason and come through again in another big game?
I love Des. She just has such a huge heart, big smile. She's just, I feel like our athletes are just drawn to her. She just wants to do good for the team, and just to watch how much she's grown from the beginning of the year to the end of the year, and then just from the end of the year to postseason. Like she's not ready to be done, and she just keeps putting herself out there and extending. I love what she's doing right now, just a flat-out competitor.
Okay, we go second row left.
Coach, third walk-off in this postseason. Obviously, the first 2 happening at the Jane. You've got all your supporters behind you. A lot of Duck fans in attendance tonight, but how does this one compare? You're the home team, but you're so far from home. How does it compare to the previous 2?
We felt like we were home. Our fans are families were so loud. You could just hear them. We felt like we were playing at the Jane tonight. It was awesome to do this in front of our fans, to have 3 walk-offs and to be able to do it 3 times in front of our fans was amazing. And I just think about the walk-offs prior to this, and I was telling our athletes that was something that was required of us to continue to advance, but I think those were things that were required because it was going to show up here in the World Series. So anytime they have an opportunity to understand how to keep fighting and know that we're going to win and we are going to walk it off, it just doesn't get any better.
Okay, we go front row left.
Missy, can you walk through the strategy in the 5th to set up the lefty-lefty against Yamas? And then obviously she has to face her again and has to face her. But you went to the circle before walking her there in the 7th, and then Brady in the following at bats and McKay in the game tire. But just the various strategy that you had, both for the pitching change in the 5th and then what you said to Lindsay in the 7th leading into the walk to Yamas, and then, like I say, the following bats thereafter.
Yeah, we love the lefty-lefty matchup. Stacy's been excellent in postseason. And so that was a hard-fought battle. We didn't get what we wanted, and so from there, passed the ball. Just like our hitters passed the bat, passed the ball. When Lindsay came out, I told her to be ready, that she's going to come in and close this, and she was ready to go.
Okay, we go second row left.
Aiden Hess, KWVA Sports. Coach, you went with Elise in the middle of the game and went 2/3 of an inning, and then took her out, put in Lindsay the rest of the way, but we didn't see Elise warming up in the bullpen. Is everything okay with her, or was that just you knew you were going with Lindsay the rest of the way?
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
We just didn't see Elise like warming up again, or was that is everything okay with her, or you just knew that you were going to go with Lindsay the rest of the way?
When Elise came in and I pulled her out, she wasn't able to re-enter.
Oh, okay.
So, and
Right.
from there, yeah. So from there, it's we talked about going into the game, different things, different looks that we were going to do. I mean, what you saw tonight, we've been doing all year long. Elise has been unbelievable coming in for us in middle innings. And for her to give us what we needed to get, I think we got 1 out for her, and then we had a chain. Then we went back to Lindsay, and that's what we'll take. If it was 1 out or if it was 3 outs, whatever it is, we will take. And I think that's what our team is finding out, is that it doesn't have to look a certain way. We feel very comfortable with everybody. And like I said, I knew Lindsay was going to probably come back in and close.
Thank you.
Just what's the plan for you guys tomorrow in terms of, will the team come here for Texas, Oklahoma, or will they stay back at the hotel, or how will you handle that? And then your thoughts on, one way or the other, there is some drama tied to your next game, either in a rematch with Oklahoma or everything with Texas?
I'm excited for these guys to get a break, and I don't think about drama. There's no drama. It's about continuing to compete and fight here at the College World Series. So whoever we play, we play. I feel really good about our team, and I'm excited to be standing here on Sunday.
Any more questions? Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Past y'all's bedtimes.
We're joined by Ole Miss head coach Jamie Trachsel with players Lexi Brady and Percy Yamas. Please make sure to silence your cell phones and give your name and media affiliation when you get the mic to ask a question. Recording of the press conference with your cell phones prohibited, and then raise your hand on the Zoom if you want to ask a question. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach Trachsel, then go to questions just for the players, dismiss the players, then go to questions just for Coach Trachsel. So if you have an opening statement, feel free.
Yeah, I just want to say congrats to Oregon. Incredible, hard-fought game. Obviously, you don't want to be on this side of it, especially in the World Series. But to our team, just super proud of them. Proud of the season. It was special, the run that we had, the growth that we made throughout the entire year. I think, if I remember right, people picked us to finish second to last in preseason conference, and I think we embodied every part of what it means to be a team and continued to get better throughout the entire season and played our best when it mattered the most and had different people step up in different moments. And so incredible group of seniors, 11 of them that we say goodbye to, but them along with our whole team left a legacy at Ole Miss that will be obviously remembered and celebrated for years to come. So proud that I got to coach this group, proud to be part of the journey, and proud of the legacy that they left behind, not just on the field, but who they are and the culture that we had.
Okay, questions for players? Okay, we go front row right.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Just Lexi, I know that you guys have said like kind of on social media like why you stayed and stuff. Just how has that ride been this year, and just with all the newcomers that came in and the culture you guys kind of built in this whole season?
Yeah, just shows that commitment and hard work pays off. I think me and the other returners are proof of that. You know, we last year didn't have the year we wanted, but there's nothing else another path I would have wanted to take other than to, finish my career here and with these group of people. So I don't know, I'm just proud of my commitment, but the commitment for the coaches to us, they continue to prove over and over again why we should have stayed. And obviously it pays off. I think the story speaks for itself.
Question. Okay, front row left.
James Creppy of the Oregonian. Lexi, what made grind effective tonight against you guys as a whole? I believe it was 2 of 14 runners in scoring position against her. Obviously, there was the game-tying hit, no doubt, but what made her effective even as she re-entered and got up to the 140-pitch mark?
Yeah, as all great pitchers do, she continued to hit her spots really well. She made us make adjustments that we made them here and there, but I don't think that's definitely where we could have improved. But she just attacked zones and stayed there until we made an adjustment.
Okay, second row left.
Nathan Geese, Avalanche Journal. For both of the players, can you just kind of take me through what you guys are saying going into that seventh to get that comeback, and then for Jamie to come through the way she did in that situation?
I just think it makes sense. It's how we've been all year. Why take the easy way? So there was a lot of confidence in our dugout. Even through the whole game, it felt that we could win at any point. So I know that there was a little bit of emotions going on in the dugout, but there was still complete confidence, and we knew that it takes one batter, and Jamie's done a great job all year in any pinch role she's had, so we had a lot of confidence that she'd put her best swing off, and she was doing it for the team behind her.
I agree with Lexi. Jam has been great, a pinch hitter and a great teammate, and we all knew she was going to come through big for us.
More questions for players? Okay, thank you, players. You're dismissed.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, you can take this.
Take this time.
Questions for Coach? Okay, we got second row on the left here.
Yeah, just kind of similar to conversations lead up to that seventh inning, and then the decision to put Jamie in that spot and just see her deliver in the moment when you desperately needed it.
Yeah, we kind of just kept feeding them a little bit like, hey, let's stack a couple of things on top of each other. You're one swing away. Had some competitive plate appearances, some hard hit balls, and just try to keep feeding them to stay in this. And was like, it's not easy to close, especially in this environment. So, and obviously they came through, stacked a couple things together. Jamie's had some huge performances, probably the last 6 weeks in different moments, and I'm almost positive she's gotten a hit in almost like probably 75% of her opportunities in big moments. And so great timing for her. I mean, what a big moment. First at bat of the World Series and in any capacity to come up with that hit. So proud of the fight that we had and sent it in extra innings, and just always comes down to one or two plays, and they forced us into a couple probably mistakes. But Lindsay did a great job competing too, and I think they called a really good game because they flipped that a little bit. Maybe started leads with some change-ups, in the latter half of the game too, and throwing mostly down. So it was a tough puzzle to crack, but I'm proud of the fight that we had. We had our chances. It just the ball didn't bounce our way this time.
Okay, we'll go front row right.
Brady Vernon, Softball America. Just adding Aaliyah in December, just how much did that really change the trajectory for this whole season, having her?
Huge, it took everybody on our team to be able to get here, and obviously people were in different roles, and what a big role for her too, especially as a pitcher and a hitter and really a defender too, as a three-way player. So she's definitely saved her best for last, and she's had a great season for us, but the last couple of weeks offensively and pitching wise were her best performances, and no doubt she's a big reason why we're here.
Okay, we go front row left.
Willie Gillespie, OU Daily. Despite the clock striking midnight, I was over in your fan base section there, and the excitement and the emotion was palpable. How was it like playing in Devon Park, and what would you say to the fans that traveled all the way from Oxford?
Thank you. We had 30 to 50 alumni here that traveled here to be part of this, and they are part of this, So we get to be in Oklahoma City, but we come from the work and the path that the players and the other people and the coaches, laid before us, the ground they laid before us. And so to our families, to our friends, the support we had here in the stadium, but across the country, can't tell you how much it means to all of us to have the support. And we heard them. They were loud. And they told us they were going to. We had our alumni come and speak to our team earlier, and they did an incredible job. And we felt like, it's that saying, we come as one, but we stand as 10,000. I think that kind of sums up how we feel.
Okay, we go second row left.
Coach Noah Ram with the Gainesville Sun. Just talking about, you mentioned you guys picked to finish second to last in the SEC, and now you were this, fourth best team standing here. Just how exciting is that, I guess, for the future, within the conference, nationally, what you guys did this season?
Yeah, just proud of the group. It's fun to prove people right. It's fun to prove them wrong. But in the end of the day, like the journey, the conversations in our locker room, the development we had, the experiences we shared, the growth, the adversity we went through, the lessons learned made us really battle-tested and a really relentless and resilient team that had a ton of pride in their fight. A gritty, fun team to watch that was competitive, that embodied the word team, supported each other, empowered each other, found different ways to win, just came up a little bit short. But I'm proud of where we started and where we finished, and with so many new pieces, to do it in 1 year, it was pretty special.
Okay, we go front row left.
James Carpio with the Oregonian. Jamie, you touched on a little bit there with Grind and what made her effective, but particularly as the game went on and the pitch count was going up, what was making her so effective in those high leverage spots?
Yeah, just she was still in the zone. Lexi said it. I think she was hitting her spots pretty good. I think they did a good job pitch calling because they went back down and mixed in some different off speeds and in some of those counts where they led with it or finished with it just to keep us off balance. And it's a tough pitcher to square up, but we did. They made plays, and so one swing away, I think we had a couple people on in whatever inning that was, and she mixed, I think, back-to-back changeups on Lair and got her a little bit out front, a little early on that to get out of that inning. So good pitcher, had good command today, up and down and mixed speeds, and could throw it on different counts. It could throw it for a strike or expand the zone.
Okay, we'll go third row to right. Justin.
Justin McLeod from D1 Softball. Obviously, Jamie's pinch hit tonight is one of the stories of tonight. But that's something you guys have done really well all year, is people just stepping up. Like I think of Taylor Roman last week with that double against Arkansas. Can you kind of give me a little insight into the decision-making process there? Because it has worked so well for you guys so many times through the course of the entire year.
Obviously at this stage, your hitters really well and who hits up and down or what are good matchups, and sometimes saving kids or for different moments. And so I think Jamie's has been lately. She's used in different roles, but kind of that person, if there's something on the line, then she's probably a person that we want to insert late in the game. That's been her role a little bit. And Taylor Roman, just with her swing path, is a good matchup for people that throw up in the zone. So, we have a lot of conversations on the front end, and Aaron Earlywine, who's coaching third, makes a lot of our offensive decisions in the moment for what he feels. And obviously we kind of know what's going on between innings and talk about that. But Aaron does a great job of managing the offense. Obviously he's the lead offensive coordinator and kind of the holistic strategy. But we've had a lot of hitters come up in big moments too, and Jamie's done that the last probably 6 weeks or so.
Okay, the last one will come from Zoom from Eric Lopez.
Yeah, Eric Lopez, D1 softball. Coach, when you look back at this season and what you've built there, what are you going to think about and remember for future years?
I don't know if it's one thing, just how hard it was. And I love things that are hard, not a glutton for punishment by any means, but just how hard it was. And people doubted us. They, didn't give. We had to prove ourselves along the way. And it's hard to do that, especially at this level in this conference, to kind of go over and over again. So winning on the road in some hostile environments, getting here, having some huge moments for our program, 11 players and super seniors in our class, and 16 newcomers plus new coaching staff, so many new pieces. So to be able to accomplish what we did and do it together, and it was a blast. We have a lot of personality on our team. So besides the journey that we were on and the wins that we had, it was a blast every single day, the entire year, to show up to practice. They made it fun to show up. They were bought in, they were invested, and it was a hell of a journey, I can tell you that.
All right, then wrap things up. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good rest of the week.